Libra, the moment I step into your energy, I feel something shifting between balance and imbalance, like a quiet inner recalibration that you didn't consciously initiate, but your soul began on its own. Your spirit has reached a point where it can no longer tolerate emotional noise, half-hearted efforts, or situations that depend on you to keep everything steady. Over the next 72 hours, something inside you begins to break free from the subtle pressure to maintain harmony at the cost of your own peace. If you've been feeling slightly irritable, unusually quiet, or craving separation from certain people or habits, it's not withdrawal. It's intuition reorganizing your inner world so you can recognize what is truly worth your energy. I'm Aira, and before we continue, your 2026 forecast reading is available for $155, a deep channeled guide that maps your entire energy year. And if this message finds you at the right time, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe because your support helps pull more Libras into the guidance meant for them. Now let's step into your shift, because your next 72 hours do not come lightly. They come with clarity, empowerment, and emotional precision. The first energy arriving is the Justice card, which is powerful because it mirrors your own frequency. This tells me the next 72 hours bring a situation into balance, whether internally, emotionally, or with someone else. You may realize where you've been overly patient or overly compromising. Something inside you awakens and says, enough. This isn't reactive, it's deeply grounded. You start seeing what's fair, what's not, and where your energy has been underpaid. Justice shows karmic alignment beginning to unfold quietly behind the scenes. You may also receive truth. Someone's intentions become clearer, a misunderstanding gets corrected, or a hidden motive surfaces. This clarity liberates you. It removes confusion, emotional fog, and the mental strain of guessing someone's position. You stop filling in the blanks and start seeing the picture exactly as it is. This brings relief and a deeper sense of control over your choices. Internally, justice brings self-accountability. You may confront a pattern, a habit, or a belief that isn't serving you. You won't judge yourself. Instead, you understand yourself more deeply. This subtle honesty strengthens your boundaries and helps you prioritize your needs without guilt or overthinking. The shift becomes internal alignment more than external correction. The next 72 hours may also bring closure to something that has been lingering too long. You may release emotional weight or make a decision you've been avoiding. Justice completes a cycle so that the next part of your path can unfold without resistance. Your second card is the Knight of Cups, revealing that emotional movement begins soon. Someone may express something to you: interest, appreciation, concern, or a truth they held back. It might not be dramatic, but it will feel meaningful because it aligns with something you already sensed intuitively. This card shows emotional honesty entering your life, both from others and from yourself. Over the next 72 hours, you may feel yourself softening emotionally towards something you've been resisting. Not because it suddenly became perfect, but because you're seeing it through clarity instead of fear. This softness allows you to open up to possibilities you previously shut down. You become receptive again. The Knight of Cups also brings creativity and inspiration. You may feel drawn to express yourself in a way you haven't done in a long time. Writing, planning, designing, or revisiting something that connects you to your imagination. This energy restores hope where doubt has grown. This card also hints at a decision of the heart. You may begin contemplating what you truly want from a relationship or emotional dynamic. The next 72 hours help you align your feelings with your boundaries, allowing emotional clarity rather than chaos. Your third card is the Eight of Pentacles, signaling focus, improvement, and refinement. Something in your life needs your dedicated attention: your work, finances, health, or personal growth. The next 72 hours bring motivation and discipline you've been missing. You may feel compelled to correct a delay, finish something, organize your space, or fix a detail you've been putting off. This energy also highlights your value. You may realize you've been underestimating a skill, talent, or effort. You see exactly where you've been giving too much for too little, and suddenly the idea of restructuring your time or energy becomes obvious. This clarity fuels progress that had previously felt stuck. On a practical level, the Eight of Pentacles supports financial improvement. You may receive an opportunity, insight, or method to increase stability. It could be a thought like, I need to adjust this habit, or I need to move differently in this area. This shift creates long-term payoff. Emotionally, this card restores confidence. You realize you don't need perfection, you need consistency. And consistency begins in small steps over the next 72 hours. Steps that realign you with a future you can trust. Your fourth card is the Queen of Cups, bringing sensitivity, intuition, and emotional intelligence. Over the next 72 hours, your intuition sharpens to the point where you can feel the truth even before it arrives. You may sense people's motives, the direction of a situation, or the emotional tone beneath someone's words. This awareness guides your decisions with precision. Emotionally, the Queen of Cups softens your heart without making you vulnerable to manipulation. You begin holding compassion for yourself first. Any emotional exhaustion you've been carrying begins to loosen. You may experience an urge to take care of yourself more intentionally. Sleep, nourishment, small comforts, or emotional rest. This card also reveals the presence of someone who genuinely cares for you or thinks deeply about you. A connection may resurface or strengthen. The next 72 hours may show you someone's sincerity or reveal that their emotions have been deeper than you realized. Spiritually, this card deepens your intuitive channel. You may receive signs, dreams, or gut feelings that feel louder than usual. These messages guide you toward emotional clarity and away from confusion. Your fifth card is the Two of Swords, showing a moment of mental block or indecision shifting. There's something you've been avoiding choosing, delaying confronting, or mentally circling around. The next 72 hours bring clarity, not through pressure, but through internal alignment. The choice that felt complicated begins to simplify. This card often shows emotional self-protection. You may have been guarding yourself because you weren't sure if someone or something was safe. That fog lifts. You begin understanding the truth of the situation, allowing you to make a decision you previously didn't trust yourself with. The Two of Swords also highlights that communication may open in a stagnant relationship or situation. A blocked conversation may finally move. Silence ends. Misunderstandings clear. Something that was stuck begins to shift. Internally, this card helps you detach from fear-based thinking. You stop trying to predict outcomes and start trusting your ability to navigate them. This shift gives you strength in unexpected ways. Your sixth card is the Sun, a radiant sign of clarity, optimism, and forward movement. The next 72 hours bring relief, emotional, mental, or situational. Something becomes obvious, simple, lighter, or easier. You understand the situation from a higher perspective, and the heaviness you've been carrying begins dissolving. This card brings confidence. You stop doubting yourself. You stop apologizing for your feelings. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. The Sun shows you stepping into your truth with ease, not ego. You feel seen, not necessarily by others, but by yourself. You may also receive good news, big or small, a message, validation, opportunity, or unexpected positive shift. Something moves in your favor, confirming that you're on the right trajectory. Spiritually, the Sun thins the veil around you. You may feel more connected, more guided, and more supported. Light returns where confusion once lived. Your seventh card is the Four of Wands, showing celebration, alignment, and emotional grounding entering your next 72 hours. You may reconnect with someone, feel appreciated, or receive support that surprises you. The environment around you becomes lighter, more harmonious, or more welcoming. This card also points to stabilization. A relationship may strengthen, a commitment deepens, or a personal goal reaches a milestone. You sense progress instead of waiting. The Four of Wands brings a deep exhale, a moment where things feel right. Emotionally, this card brings warmth. You may feel more connected to your community, family, friendships, or a specific person. This energy nurtures you and reminds you that you're not meant to carry everything alone. The Four of Wands also opens a new cycle that feels celebratory. You move from stagnation into momentum, from uncertainty into confidence, from waiting into receiving. Your final card is the Page of Pentacles, bringing opportunity and grounded progress. The next 72 hours may present the beginning of something new, an idea, an opportunity, or a practical step toward financial or personal growth. This isn't a dramatic change. It's a seed that becomes meaningful with time. This card shows renewed motivation. You feel ready to learn something new, adjust something, or begin a plan you've been postponing. You gain clarity about what you need to focus on to create long-term stability. Financially, the Page of Pentacles brings potential. You may receive insight into how to improve your income, manage your resources, or shift your career path. This is the first step toward real transformation. Emotionally, this card brings hope. You begin believing in yourself again, not in theory, but in grounded, practical ways. You see possibilities where you once saw limitations. Affirmation for you, Libra: I am aligned, protected, and guided. I choose clarity, balance, and progress as I step into my next chapter.